Hey everyone, I tried and tested 5 different deep conditioning treatments and 5 different application methods to work out which was best. I thought we'd talk about the products, their ingredients, the claims that they make, and then more interestingly, how I actually used and applied each of them. And then I promised to do my best to actually rank them at the end of the video. All the products I'm talking about today are going to be focused on moisturising, nourishing and deep conditioning the hair. They are not protein treatments and they are not bond repairs. Okay, it's as simple as that. So let's start talking about product and method number 1. And that is, the product is from Grow Gorgeous. This one here, it is a intense thickening hair and scalp mask. And then the method I used was a heated hat steamer, which I do also have here. It's this thing. Should I put it on? I'm gonna put it on. But I won't sit here with it on because you'll just be like, what on earth? Yeah, so let me just recompose myself, do the wavy girl fluff. Okay, let's go. Okay, so before I get too carried away with the hat steamer, because if you haven't worked it out, I absolutely love that thing. The mask itself, actually, let me just say I have got some notes because I wanted to make sure that I was accurate about ingredients and so on. So they describe this as being a powerful blend of skincare and hair care ingredients. So this is a really good option if you're looking to nourish both your hair, but also the skin on your head, so your scalp. It's got caffeine, niacinamide and biotin, which help to stimulate the roots of your hair, which gives a thicker, fuller appearance, I would say, immediately to your hair. So those are some really super active ingredients. And then also, I think it was called, it's an oat lipid complex, and that helps apparently maintain the natural skin barrier, so it helps to protect and maintain your skin health. And when I say skin, obviously I'm talking about the scalp. And then in addition to all that, it's got some really nourishing moisturising ingredients such as butters and coconut oils. 2 things that are worth mentioning though, I personally don't follow wavy or curly girl methods. However, if you do, and this is important to you, then it does contain some drying alcohols, and also not curly or wavy girl relevant, but just human relevant. It contains perfume, and that perfume is pretty high up in the inky list. I don't know if it's on here. No. I think it's the 2nd or 3rd ingredient from memory. And so if you are sensitive to perfume, or if you don't like your hair to smell, this one is not for you. Now, I absolutely love this smell, and I wish you could smell it because it's quite hard to describe. It's kind of musky, not oudy, but kind of down that slightly woody, sandalwoody maybe smell. I loved it, but it stayed in my hair for a good 3 or 4 days, I think I could smell it for. And I really enjoyed that, but if you don't, then this one will not be for you. So let me talk to you about the method that I used, and this was the heated hat steamer. Here's some footage of me actually using it so you can see for yourself what to do. But basically, on clean, freshly washed hair, I applied the Grow Gorgeous mask. Now, the mask itself didn't give my hair loads and loads of slip, so I didn't detangle it with a brush. I just roped the product through and made sure that I'd covered all of my hair really, really thoroughly. I personally choose to apply conditioner or conditioning treatments to the mid-lengths and the ends, but I do also cover the roots. And the reason for this is I have lots of new hair growth. I have some grey hairs, not some, I have a lot of grey hairs coming through. And I find that if I don't moisturise and condition the top area of my hair, I get more frizz and halo frizz. So it's a really good tip if you struggle with frizz, and I'm actually working on a video all about frizz at the moment. So if you're interested in that, look, I'm going to do my proper YouTuber thing. If you're interested in a video about frizz, then please hit subscribe, hit the bell notification, and you will find out when new videos become available. Okay, let's get back to it. Yeah, applying conditioner to my roots really, really helps me with frizz. So I made sure that my hair was completely covered with the intense mask. Also, to note, obviously with this one, you do want to take it all the way up to the roots because you want to ensure that you're also covering the skin on your head. So you want to make sure that the scalp also has really, really good coverage. The heat steamer came with 2 shower caps. So you then cover your hair with one of those shower caps and then you pop on the hat. It's got a tie at the back so that you can tighten it up. And once it's comfortably all in place, all you need to do is plug yourself in. Now, quick note, in the UK, we do not have plug sockets in our bathroom. I mean, I don't know exactly why, because in America, I know that you guys do. I visited America and I'm like, oh my God, you've got a hairdryer in the bathroom. This is amazing. What a good place to have a hairdryer. Anyway, it must be to do with voltage or something. What I did in this footage was I plugged an extension lead from our hallway into our main bathroom and plugged myself in, surrounded by wet puddles on the floor. Broke probably every health and safety law going. Perhaps I shouldn't mention that on YouTube. Anyway, that's what I did. So that's how I was able, if you're sitting there in the UK thinking, how on earth did you plug yourself in? Dangerously is the answer. There are 2 heat settings, high and low. And I opted for high to begin with, and then after about 10-ish minutes I dropped down to low. Not because in any way I was getting too hot, but I wanted to make sure that I tested out the product as much as possible, and so yeah, I just wanted to kind of have a comparison. It warms up really, really quickly. It's very comforting and it's very, very relaxing. I left it on for about 20 minutes in total. I don't think there'd be any reason that you couldn't leave it on for longer if you wanted. And then I took off the hat, the shower cap, and fully rinsed out my hair. Now, as I washed the mask out, my hair naturally seemed to detangle itself. I almost didn't really need to use my wet brush because it just felt super silky and super soft. I could easily run my fingers through it. It really was very, very silky and smooth feeling. Overall, this was an absolute winner for me. The combination of the nourishing ingredients for both scalp and hair, and then the luxurious, warming, I personally feel like supercharging the conditioning treatment was just, yeah, winner, winner, chicken dinner. Loved it. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Is that universal? Is that a worldwide thing? I hope so. I highly recommend this product. I think about some of the sort of, you know, electrical hair tools that I own that have cost me hundreds of pounds, like, you know, the Shark styler or, you know, hair dryers, things like that. And this, I believe from memory off the top of my head, I'm sure it was $15.99 from Amazon. And it's really well made. Like, don't get me wrong, you know, this is a little bit plasticky, but it works for, you know, fine. But in terms of like the lining is really, really good. The hat is like really well structured. It feels comfortable on. I mean, you look absolutely fabulous. My husband thinks it's so hilarious. But yeah, well worth a $15.99 investment because I think it does just, I mean, I feel like my hair has never felt better. So yeah, method number 1, absolutely brilliant. But you definitely need a little bit more time available to do this method. And so if time isn't your friend and you've only got minutes, then this next method and product might be up your street. Method and product number 2 is one from Beauty Pie. And it is this super healthy, oh God, sorry, it's got my hair all over it. How absolutely gross. Right, there we go. It's the hair glossing treatment from Beauty Pie. Again, I've got some notes. It's described as a pre-wash magic expecto patronum glossing seal, and that it will tame frizzy, wavy and unruly hair. I thought that was a bit rude. Sorry, Beauty Pie, but I like my unruly waves, thank you very much. However, there are times where I do want a smoother look, and therefore I thought this could be perfect for blow dry days. Now, worth mentioning, it does contain some water-based silicons. Now that's not something I get my knickers in a twist over, but if you are strictly adhering to curly girl methods, I don't think you can have any silicons at all, so this one's not for you. It does also contain soy protein, however, it's pretty far down the list, so I wouldn't get too excited about that. It definitely talks much more about being a vitamin enriching, conditioning and nourishing glossing treatment rather than a protein-based treatment, which is fair enough because it is so far down on the list. Now this was very easy to use. The packaging I think has been quite well designed with the nozzle. It is liquidy, so it does come out of the bottle quite fast, but I found that by sectioning my hair, I then kind of got used to my technique after only a couple of tries where I'd apply it at the root and then I'd sort of cup my hair at the ends and I'd sort of drizzle it down the mid-lengths and then hold it at the roots and kind of squelch it in. It was simple and it covered my hair really, really well. You can see in one go, I've only used this once because I don't blow dry my hair very often. That, for my length hair, is how much I used. Say it's, oh wow, how specific, 237 mil. And I have no idea how much that is, but that's one use. So I reckon I'm gonna get 4, maybe 5 uses at a push out of that. Now the other thing was that it said, it was really specific, it said I think 1 minute, leave it on for 1 minute if you've got coarse hair. It's on my directions, I actually read the directions, so you know. Yeah, 1 minute for fine hair, sorry, that makes more sense, doesn't it? And 3 minutes for coarse hair. Now I don't have either of those, I've got somewhere in the middle, which is why I went for 2 minutes. Plus I prefer even numbers because I'm weird like that. So yeah, 2 minutes and then I jumped straight back into the shower and I washed it all out. Now, this is actually the only product that I can show you some after footage, although I probably could show you after footage of all the others, but I intentionally took some photographs because it's not often that I blow dry my hair these days. I do much prefer it like it is now. This is, I washed my hair yesterday, so this has been slept on, but I love this kind of undone, easy, slightly wild and wavy look. But yeah, this did leave my hair feeling very glossy and very shiny. If you've got a natural wave or curl texture, and also actually if you've got blonde hair, I think you'll know already, like it's quite tricky to make your hair look shiny and glossy. And this did the job 100%. Product and method number 3, and we are talking about the Camille Rose Algae Renew Deep Conditioner. I'm sure that is algae. I'm like now doubting myself. Algae. I'm sure that's algae. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to look this up.
2 different pronunciations for this word. In British English, it is generally said as algae.
Algae.
Algae, R-G, stress on.
He's got a nice voice. Yeah, sorry about that. Now this one is a very flexible mask. The method that I am going to show and share with you is all about dry application. So you can pop this onto your hair before you've washed it. However, that isn't the only way you can use this. You can use it in a traditional way, sort of partway through your wash routine. And also on their website, I noticed they describe it as gourmet use is to add an oil to it so that you can like supercharge the moisturizing properties. However, I feel like I already get so much nourishment, I definitely wouldn't need to do that. But if you've got really dry hair, then you could consider the gourmet option. To apply this deep conditioner to dry hair, I found the best way is just to rope it over my hair in sections. Again, it's not going to provide any slip at this stage without any added water, so I don't brush it through. I just cover my hair from root to tip. And then with this mask, I tend to leave it on for about at least 20 minutes. Sometimes I leave it on much longer. I just kind of go and do other things. So, you know, do some errands or cleaning or sit in front of the computer, whatever. And then I'll just follow my normal wash routine. And that's what I really particularly love about a dry application method is you haven't got to do that thing where you're stepping out of the shower halfway through. It's really practical and kind of efficient. So, you know, if you've got a really busy day, but you feel like your hair really needs some deep conditioning, this one is such a lovely, lovely choice. It smells amazing. I love the smell. But it doesn't stick around. So unlike the Grey Gorgeous, I can't smell it on my hair later in the day. A little bit sadly, because it smells like fruit and peppermint and Play-Doh. I know. But yeah, absolutely packed full of loads of different oils. And you would kind of think that for someone with a loose wavy texture, you're told so often, you know, you hear so often, like, this will weigh down your waves, it's going to weigh down your hair. I just haven't found that to be the case at all with this product. So really lovely and really efficient because you can use it on dry hair. Okay, so product and method number 4, and we are talking today, this is a tricky one for me, bear with. It's the Super Healthy Hair Conditioning Mask from Beauty Pie. And the method is what I would call traditional method. So it's when you use it in the shower for 3 to 5 minutes and then wash it out completely. Okay, so the reason I'm a bit squirmy for this one is because when I started my channel, when I decided to do this, my number one goal was just to really help people who'd been in a similar situation to me. They weren't happy with their hair, they couldn't work it out. Perhaps also they're sort of, you know, you're a similar age and you're starting to see changes generally. And anyway, yeah, I really wanted to help people with wavy hair texture. And secondly, I also wanted to be super transparent. So I wanted to show you the good, the bad, the great, the awful. So I will be honest when I've made mistakes and I've touched my hair too much and it's gone really, really frizzy. You know, I show you 7 days of what my hair looks like in a vlog. It doesn't look perfect, whatever that is, every single day. I don't do loads of refreshing. I can't be bothered, you know. And I made I'm trying to find a polite way to say this. I made an error and I don't know how I managed it because I generally I'm a bit of a geek when it comes into looking at products these days and ingredients, and I've been that way with my skin for ages, but in the last sort of 12 months I've also become that way with my hair. And I'll be honest guys, I would not recommend this and I would not repurchase it. And the reason is it's got a lot of silicons in it, and not all just water-based. Some of them are water-based silicons, but some are not, according to 2 different curl ingredient evaluators, Curlspot, and I can't remember the other one I've started using, but I actually like it even more. So yeah, it's got a lot of silicone in it, which I don't, as a rule, I don't worry too much about water-based silicons, but I do try to avoid too much. And then it also has mineral oil, and it's very high up in the list, like number 2 or 3. And just for someone with wavy hair, for someone who doesn't necessarily want to avoid it completely, doesn't stress about silicons, what do I say? I don't get my knickers in a twist about silicons, but I do, for the most part, try to avoid anything too silicone heavy. And then you've got the addition of mineral oil as well. I don't know where my head was at. And I just wonder if, you know what it's like when you've got loads of tabs open on your internet browser, and I think I purchased this at the same time, and I think maybe I'd put that in the basket and I discounted this, but I hadn't dropped it out of the basket and I meant to order something else. I don't know. Made a mistake. I'm sorry. The method is great. I love a mask that you can just apply and that works really quickly, because 3 to 5 minutes, I don't feel like I need to jump out the shower. I'm not wasting water. I can, you know, shave, etc., do other things. But yeah, personally, I'm not going to use it again. I used it once. I'm not going to use it again. It's got great reviews on their website. I'll see if my mum wants it. I'll be honest with her about the stuff, but she doesn't worry about things like that. So, or I'll pop it on free on a Facebook site. But yeah, that's number 4. So I feel like I failed you guys a little bit. I'm really sorry. And also another spoiler alert with the ranking, right? Okay, let's move on to more positive things. Look, I feel like a newsreader, which is not what I want at all. And tonight on the evening news. Okay, number 5, we are talking about the Giovanni Nutrifix Hair Reconstructor. I don't know if you can see that. That looks really burnt out. I'll pop it up on the screen anyway. I had started using their Stronghold gel and I liked it so much that I started to look into some of their other products. And when I was deciding to go into kind of deep delve of deep conditioners, I had been looking at this online, and then I was in my local TK Maxx, which is TJ Maxx if you're in America, and I happened to see it. So I was like, it's meant to be. This one is quite different to all the others because it's packed full of botanical extracts, which are different from oils and butters but have a lot of the same qualities from what I understand. So they will help soothe, nourish and moisturise your hair. But if you're someone who does find that something like this would weigh down their hair, so you try to avoid shea butters and coconut oils and things like that, the botanical extracts might be a really good option for you because it's not a protein treatment. It is going to nourish and it is going to smooth and it is going to really help moisturise your hair. But hopefully you won't find it weighs your hair down. Okay, so the method that we're using is you've got into the shower, you've washed your hair thoroughly, you've conditioned, and now you apply the hair reconstructor all over. But this time, to super boost the traditional method, we're going to leave it on for longer and also step out of the shower and add a shower cap. And the shower cap, a couple of reasons why that is quite a good thing to use is one, it sort of replicates a little bit the job that the hat steamer did. So it's kind of generating a little bit of warmth just from, you know, the warmth of your own body. It's trapping that moisture into the hair. And then also obviously you're allowing it to penetrate for longer. And also I like wearing the shower cap because it just stops you dripping wet hair all down your back and over, you know, your home and things, etc. I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of deep conditioning when you step out of the shower. I just find it so much more of a faff. I get cold really easily. And yeah, but I did really like the results from this. It was very hydrating. My skin, I was gonna say, my hair felt really lovely afterwards. So definitely a good one to do if you don't mind what I consider to be a bit faffy of having to step out of the shower and then obviously jump back in and wash it all out like 20 minutes later. Okay, so how would I rank these? I think if we're just talking about the products first, obviously no shocks. Sorry, Beauty Pie. Generally, I really like a lot of their products, but this was a big fat no for me. So that's an easy last place. Sorry, but there we go. Number four for me would actually be this one here. And I feel bad saying that because it is by no means a bad product. It's not at all. It was really good and it did leave my hair feeling really lovely. But I just think I actually prefer the shea butters and oils rather than the botanical extracts. But definitely give this a try if shea butters and oils don't work for you. So yeah, number four. Number three, I guess, to be honest, has to be the glossing treatment. And the reason that is just because these days I 9 times out of 10 just prefer my hair like this. I prefer my hair wavy, and I'm not sure that I would bother using this if I was gonna. I haven't tried it, so it's a bit unfair to say, but I probably wouldn't use this before following a wavy routine, only because it does all the things that I don't want it to for my wavy hair. Does that make sense? So with my waves, I personally don't mind a little bit of frizz. I want them to be a little bit kind of unruly, and it says that it's going to stop all that. So I should probably test that out, but yeah, that would be number three. But amazing if we were just talking about smoothing treatments for blow dry, that would, you know, be up there. So a bit unfair to be in position number three, but for a deep conditioner, it is what it is. Ugh, these are so hard to choose between. It'd be a cop out to have a joint first, I personally believe. So I'm going to make a decision. Okay. Number two, it's this one, the Grow Gorgeous mask. Oh, is it? Because it does the scalp as well. Yes, it is. Okay, yeah. Number two, Grow Gorgeous mask. Why is it not number one? Because as amazing as it is and lovely as it is, the Camille Rose is my number one because I feel like it's more impressive of how my hair feels. I feel like it has been more restorative. This definitely made my hair feel amazing and it made my hair smell amazing, and I think it did good things for my scalp, but it's hard to actually qualify that because I already do other things for my scalp and I don't have a problematic scalp, touch wood. You know, but if you had dry, itchy, sore, then this would probably be your number one. I'm kind of copping out a little bit, But number 2, number 1. I love this so much. It's joyful because it smells so wonderful and it brings back happy memories. And I do feel like it's had longer lasting results. That's what I'm trying to say. So they both are immediate, but I feel like this has actually helped transform the condition of my hair and my halo frizz and so on. But I will definitely use both of these again, and I will use them until the last drop is gone. And so to rank the methods, at the bottom, number 5 would be the traditional super boost. So where you apply it after washing and conditioning and then put the shower cap on. And that's just because I don't like being all wet and then getting out of the shower for 20 minutes and kind of, you can't start getting stuck into chores because I'm not going to get dressed in that time. I'm just going to have a towel or a dressing gown around me or whatever. Sorry, I thought someone was outside my house. So yeah, that would be number 5. Number 4 would probably actually be the traditional method where it's 3 to 5 minutes. And that's because I don't feel like I get the best results. I don't feel like it's necessarily a long-term improvement. Definitely feel like you get some really nice conditioner on the day, but personally, if you're using a good conditioner, I don't think it adds anything. So I don't think I'm getting value from just doing 3 to 5 minutes of deep conditioning. So that would be number 4. Number 3, the glossing treatment method. I think it's lovely. I think it's amazing for a blow dry, but I don't think it's the most flexible. And again, I don't think it's necessarily having longer term effects. Plus, I know I'm going to have to clarify quite soon after I do it because of those water-based silicons to prevent product buildup. Number 2, this is not a shock because you must have guessed what number 1 is already. Number 2 is the dry method. I find this super, super practical. I love the fact that you can apply a deep conditioner to dry hair and that it can be so incredibly effective. And yet I can then, you know, do some hoovering or unload the dishwasher, the glamorous life that I lead, for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever. It just, yeah, you're not sort of waiting around for your hair to absorb all those great ingredients. You're just getting on with your life. So that would be number 2. And so it comes as no surprise, number 1 has to be the hat. I just realised I haven't shown you guys the shower caps, but just trust me, they're really, really good quality. The only thing I will say, actually, one extra tip, they're quite tight. So just make sure you don't let them, I guess it depends on your head size, but for me, they were quite tight. So just push it back a little bit because I had a little line. It was just such a lovely experience. And I personally think I look amazing in it, you know, regardless of what my husband says. So yeah, this would be number 1. I hope you've enjoyed this. I will link all of the products below. Is this weird now, watching me wear this funny little hat? It's chic, it's really chic. I hope this comes, you know, into trend. And so if you haven't already, guys, please hit that thumbs up button to let YouTube, the algorithm, and me know that you enjoyed this video. If you've got any questions, please pop it in the comments below. I can't believe I am now just sitting here chatting away to you with this weird hat on. I feel like I should have at least, you know, oh my God, I could do a whole YouTube video sat with this. I wonder how many views that would get, like big fat 0. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Any questions, please pop them in the comments below. If you're not already a subscriber, I would love it if you'd hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.